have our newest brush collection. It's called the Bloom Collection, and they're all named after lovely flowers. We haven't named them after the flowers because they make that exact shape. We can get some shaping from that, but we've decided that we wanted to make these brushes sound flowery, so we know that people can make flowers with them, but that doesn't mean that's all you can make with these. You just got to be creative. And once you're creative, you can just play. The brush will just do the work for you. So you can see we've got 4 brushes here, which is part of our Bloom collection. We also have another new brush, which is our French Fancy. Again, this will still be part of this collection when you use it and work with them. It's not part of a collection to buy, but it can still be used for great things like swirly patterns and stuff like that. So I'm going to show you on a bit of paper of what they create. It's very simple. First of all, I'm just going to show you what it creates on a bit of paper. So this is our rose ruffle. Just a little bit more gel. So it all works around with your pressure. So that's this one. We're now going to move on to Lotus Luxe. So like I say, you just play with these brushes to create whatever you feel is going to go with the flow. Next one. Obviously bearing in mind I'm doing this on paper. Then we're going to move on to Tulip Twirl. Then on to Sunflower Swirl. And you can see how it just creates different shapes per brush. Then we're going to move on to French Fancy. You can just see how beautiful you can create different shaping, and obviously you can use different hand movements and stuff like that to create whatever you want to be creating. So we've got in this order. I've still got my gel on the brushes, I haven't cleaned them, but it's just to show you. These will create these kinds of shaping, depending on whether you go left or right. It's all about playing with the brushes and creating them different designs where you can create petals, leaves, flowers. Do you know, it's just about playing with these. So we could use a combination of these brushes to create flowers, petals, leaves, butterflies, anything like that that has a wing, because you can see that it's got them kind of shapings that you can just play around with it. We would say to use art gel we're not saying these brushes can't be used with anything else, but for flower techniques, we think art gel is better, so because there's more pigment in an art gel. So when you're doing any form of art, if you're using a gel polish, sometimes it's just not that pigmented enough for you to actually really pick up that colour and just do it in like a few sweeps. So we always recommend using our art gels, which are always going to be, they're just fantastic. It's just a must-have with an art gel. So this is what we're going to be using today as well. So first of all, I'm going to be using this brush. I'm also going to be using some white and some purple art gel. I'm going to pick up some white, and I'm also going to pick up some purple, and I'm going to mix them together in the middle, so it gives it sort of like a two-tony effect. And I'm literally just playing. I'm just going to see what it creates. I've got nothing in my head. I'm just going to play, because I think that's what these brushes are about. So I'm going to do like a half kind of thing, I think, coming this way. So push down, pressure to get your side bits, come in and then lift the pressure again. You see that? You won't, even though the brush looks like there's 2 points to it, you're not going to get dead points. You can always go back over it to make it a bit longer. Push. And then come up. Yeah? And we're going to do the same. But this time we're going to come with a bit of a swell in. We're going to push. And then we're going to come in. And again, but I'm going to come round again, because we're always coming into our centre. Always make sure you've got your centre. I'm going to push down here, and then I'm going to pull. Get some more gel and do the same here. I'm going to push and pull. And it's just that easy. Like I say, you can go in and play more. You can cure it, and then you can make them petals a little bit more thicker. So that's our first one so far. And you can see where the brush leaves them flowered brush strokes. I'm going to bring that round again. I'm going to go back over that and bring it round. I'll pop that into fuel. Then I'm going to get a dotting tool, and I'm going to pick up a little bit of black. And I'm just going to tap round just to create a bit of darkness as a shadow. I'm also going to do the same with some white, but I'm going to do the white on the top. Creating loads of little dots, and you can just keep building that up. And you blend the black and the white together in the middle, so it sort of blends the dots. And you can see it starts creating that 3D effect because you're building up the dots. So I'm going to cure that now, so I can then build up the dots again. A few more black. nice, quick, salon-friendly flower. We're going to top coat. Just see how pretty that is, but quick. I'm going to pop that into the lamp for 60 seconds. We're now going to have a little play with Tulip 12, and you can see this has got 3 little size bristles. So I'm just going to play with bit of white and a bit of purple, and I'm just going to blend them together. And then going to make like a little pattern, interlace kind of effect. It's a bit like our interlace course, but you've got the brush that can do it for you. So I'm going to come around and I'm going to do the same here. See how pretty that is? I'm just going to load my brush up a little bit more. Go a little bit wider, push on my brush, come back around and bring it around. I'm going to do one more coming from here. Push. Bring that back round. We're going to have a mixture of brushes for this one. I'm going to use the French Fancy because I like how it's got the point to it. So I'm just going to come around and I'm just going to bring this so it's got like a line to that sort of flowery effect. I'm going to cure that so I don't mess any of it up. It's literally all about playing with these brushes till you're happy with that final look. I'm just going to draw that so it's got a little bit of detail in with it. And that was a nice florally kind of petally leafy effect. I'm going to top coat. And that's just a little fast floral design. I'm literally going to do petal here, a little petal there, same here, same here, three little petals, and then I'm gonna use my French Fancy, and then I'm just gonna stem. Little dots. A nice, simple little flower. Just going to add a little bit of black just to give it a bit of detail. Have a play with the sunflower swirl. So obviously we have named these all just flower names because we want to tell people that you can create flowers, petals, so that's why we're doing that. And pull that in. And you can sort of double over so more comes out. Does that make sense? A bit like a daisy. You can do depends on how much pressure you put. Make that one a bit bigger, and that one a bit bigger. And it do look like you've got a bit of daisies coming from the outer side. And again, you could just go. You could cure it and layer up again. Look how quick and effective that is to create the form of a daisy. Come from each side. And pop that into cure. I'm going to stick with my colour theme. So I'm going to make, this is how you make it a little bit more realistic. I'm going to make very small base in the centre. Make sure it's dark. I'm going to do the same here. Make sure it's that dark base. I'm going to put that one in, cure that. I'm going to go in with some pink. Still quite a dark pink, so I just want to go over that black a little bit. To life now, and I'm going to cure that. The reason why I'm going to cure it because I don't want the dots to keep blending, so it just helps you layer that product up. Back in with a little bit more black and a little bit of the red, mix it together. Oh, magenta, I should say, not red. Put the mix of them together because it's obviously a little bit darker than both in that centre, just to give it that depth. And that is a quick and simple daisy effect flower. I am going to get a tiny bit of white, very small amounts. Just add a little bit more detail in here. There we go. Ready to be cured and then top coated. And that's what you want, a brush to make your life and super quick salon daisies. And like I say, you can keep layering and layering as much as you want to create that sort of flower effect. Some pink one side, pick up some white on the other side, and then I'm just going to blend. So we've got two separate lines, and then I'm just going to pull these round. Always make sure you are coming into that centre. See how I swirled that round? I'm going to do the same with this one. I'm just going to go over and then I'm going to swirl it around. I'm going to cure that. See, we've got this gap here. I'm then going to go in with some dark. I'm going to add some dots all around that base. I'm going to go to the browny, yellowy, greeny colour. Blend it in with that black just to soften it. With just the plain bright yellow. A few bits around the side just to soften that edge so it don't just look like you've ended it on the corners. I'm going to flash cure that. Remember with art gels, don't be working too thick with them because they will ripple. Because they're very, very pigmented. So if you work too thick, you will get the odd ripple. So just bear that in mind. I'm now going to go on with some white. And the lamp for full cure. And then again, that will be ready for a matte top coat. Matte that. Again, another simple flower. Put that one in. So having both ends to that, created two different colour petals next to each other. And then that's that flower completed. Using the Lotus Lux. And I'm going to do a kind of one sort of common side on. So I'm going to push down, I'm going to bring and then lift my brush. A different kind of petal. And I'm going to cure that. And then we're going to do a bit more layering. Then I'm going to do the same here. Push. Same with this side, push. Got some free petal. You can then just go round and finish that little bit off at the bottom if there's any missing. Don't be worried. pop that one in. I'm then going to create a little dark under centre. Then I'm going to bring it down into a V. I'm going to bring nice and fine. Yeah, so it's got a bit of a stem. Pop that one in. I'm then going to go back in the colour that we mixed. Still from the same palette, all the different colours. So it's the brown, the yellow and the green sort of mixed together. And then going to sort of create some little spines coming up. Even though these brushes are quick and simple, you can still add some very fine detail. Just to give it a more realistic look. But you can also leave it, it's totally up to you. And pop that on in. I'm going to go and get a tiny little bit of brown. I'm just going to add a few brown dots under here. Just to make it that little bit darker, because we all know flowers are quite bitty. And that's a good thing about flowers and petals. Nothing is symmetrical, so we can just play with the brushes. So whatever you think it can create, you just play with it and hope for the best. I didn't know this was going to create this, but it has, so just go with it. Fine little leaves. Flash cure. And I'm going to get a tiny bit of white. I'm literally just playing now, I'm just adding just to see what we can do. Go up the flower a little bit. Just to make it a little bit more detailed. There we go. I'm going to cure that. Also add a little bit more detail on top if you want of that matte. That sometimes gives it that more realistic look. But again, don't have to. It's totally up to you. Another cute little flower. So this is what we've created.